Okay, so last week we finished the 17th difficult issue. Today we start from 18th, 18th difficult issue. So we still continually discuss about how. So we're talking about the pulse. We can tell the pulse in 3 different parts or 3 sections. And the sections, they have 4 channels. Conductors means channels or meridians here. With great yin, tai yin, and young British, that's Yang Ming. That's Yang Ming. Yeah. Tai yin and Yang Ming of the Han. So Tai yin is the last. Yang Ming is large Tasan in the Han. And we also have great yang. That's on the foot. That's your blood. 太阳. And the small yin. 少yin. That's kidney. So the question is, what does that mean? So we're still talking about the pulse in the right eye, and that's regular. We feel the pulse right now. So we say that eye we call twinkle. Upper part is a twin position. Middle part is the guan. Lower part is the chi. Now we're talking about in the upper part. On the right side, we know. Usually we only talking about the 脏腑，就是狼泡腑。But 出来脏腑与来血血，large intestine pulse still could be there. And the chi position, we talking about that's the kidney pulse usually. But 脏腑与来血血 still your bladder pulse. So that's we say pulse have 3 sections means 正观指节. That's 3 sections. Yeah, 正观指. And the 4 meridians here, basically we only talking about 寸 position and the chi position in one side. So that's totally together. That's the 4 like channel or meridian. But we got more explanation later. So because that's the question here. So that's the explanation here. So hand breathe in. We say that's 太阴。hand 太阴 is the last. And hand 阳明线。hand 阳明 is not task. In the 5 elements, in the 5 elements, they are connected with the metal. And for the 少阴 and for the 太阳 in the 5 elements, their relationship with the water. So by 5 elements generate a circle, metal is the mom of the water. And wood here. There here. Earth. So that's 5 elements. So we say metal generates water. So that's these circles here. When they generate water, water always like flowing down and not go to upward side. So that's we talking about 负的少阴 and 负的太阳 your brother. Their point location, we can see it in the 10 position. So that's some explanation here. So like very feel the Ching and your blood in the 10 position because the flowing down. And then we're talking about the food in that's the and 负的少阳 minor 阳 still 少 small. That's 5 elements relationship with the wood. Wood is the mom of the fire. So wood generated the fire. And 看的太阳 great 阳 is 太阳 is the flowing outside. And 汉的 minor 音 少音 that's hard. That's the relationship with the fair. The fair naturally always ascending. So they move upward, not downward. So thus they feel the 看的太阳 ，morning sun and 汉的少阴 are in the sections above. So in these two pages, what we talking about here? We're still talking about the 5 elements relationship with the pulse here. We say left side, upper part is the heart, and certainly non-intestinal. Middle part is the liver and the gallbladder. Lower part is kidney, but mainly is in part of the kidney. That's we are pretty familiar with. Certainly, your bladder still in here. And the right side, upper part is the lung, and the last part is there. Middle part is the spleen, and certainly stomach is there. And the lower part is kidney. Mainly is kidney yang part. So now we're talking about like connecting of the pulse here. So right now we are not truly talking about the spleen and the stomach here. We're talking about the relationship, metal and the water. So we're still thinking about that circle and marching to this picture. Metal generates all the mass of the water. So that's will go this way. So metal generates water. Water will be go down. Then we're talking about other side. Other side, liver. Liver is the wood. So wood generates the fat. So fat will go up. So this side will be go up. So what we're talking about here? We're talking about the qi flowing inside the body and the relationship with the heart. So that's all the 6 sections of the pulse will be balanced. If some part is not balanced, that means some blocking inside the pulse and certainly relationship with the meridian and the open. So then we're talking about pericardium. So pericardium and 看的 inner 阳少 That's 三丢。Still relationship with the fair. So that's another aspect. We talking about the fair. So fair generated Earth. So that's the same meaning we talking about the 5 elements of Earth. That's relationship with food 太阴。对。So food 太阴 spring. That's relationship with food 太阳。然后太阳阳明点。Always confused. I directly change it to 阳明。Yeah, I directly change it to 阳明。I directly change it to 太阳。Always confused. So 太阴 spring and food 阳明 is summer. And because we talking about the Earth relationship with the center. So that's why the pulse in the center position. That's we talking about 观 position. 顺观持观 position. So that's the explanation why different channels or meridians or organs that pulse in the different position. So that's basically follow 5 elements, the generation circle, generation and merging, the same the circle, like mom and son's relationship circle. So that's right now we got the lung and the heart in twin position, and the spleen and the liver in middle position, and the kidney in low position. Certainly low blood in low position. So that's just from another way, from 5 elements way explanation why the pulse in different positions. Remember, when we're talking about the position of the pulse, always thinking about the hand upward, like this way. So that's the upward. So that's what we're talking about upward. Certainly, we can make other understandings with the pulse, upper, middle, lower, and even more easily understanding. We talking about upper position, twin position, relationship with upper jaw. Upper jaw open, heart, and the lung. Middle jaw, we mainly talking about today. But the physical location of the liver still in the middle jaw. We say liver physical location in the middle jaw, but functionally more relationship with lower jaw. That's one position. And the lower jaw Ching located in the for sure. So both sides Chi position. Lower jaw. That's Ching. But we call right side is more Ching Yang. We call Ming Men. That's more Yang side. And certainly, other side is more relationship with Qi. So that's another explanation for the pulse location. But in this chapter, Nan Jing explanation, they more focus on 5 elements relationship, like Y, upper jaw, 2, have heart and lung, and Y in the middle, and kidney in the lower. So that's we got a different explanation about the pulse position. So that's totally answer for first question. Then second question here. So we're talking about the pulse in the 3 sections. We know 纵观尺 already. And they also on 3 levels. Then they ask the illness relationship with the pulse in different sections and different levels. Like what kind of relationship? So 3 sections we know already. What means 9 levels? We say each pulse they have 寸关尺. So when we feel the pulse, they have 寸关尺. Generally say they are not truly separate like left side, right side right now. We just talking about the 寸关尺. And the 寸关尺, when we feel the pulse, we can feel in the superficial. And the middle. And the deeper position. We have a chapter before. may not be cut in this lecture, but truly we have a chapter we talking about field pulse. We should feel it in the superficial level first. How superficial? Like superficial. Like you put 3 beans there. That kind of heavy. That means superficial. If you put your hand slightly on the pulse position, then you feel the pulse. That's a superficial pulse or floating pulse. Then you push in a little bit harder. Pushing a little bit harder, look like you put a 6 beans in there. That kind of heavy. Then you feel the pulse stronger there, stronger there. That's the middle line. You push in more harder, like Nan Jing in there. That's a deeper pulse. Yeah, that's deeper pulse. So you put in there with like pretty lightly and then more heavy and even more heavy. So that's superficial level, middle level, deep level. You can do the same thing in 寸关尺 position. Each of them location, you have 3 levels. So that's put together. We call 9 levels. 3 times 3 times 3. So that's we talking about pulse have 3 sections and 9 levels. It's not this one location and truly we got 9 levels there. That's not the truth. That's not the truth. This one section have 3 levels and 3 times. So that's question. Yeah, that's question. What kind of unit relationship? The explanation here. Yeah, basically explanation what we're talking about before. So 3 sections. That's 寸关尺 and 9 indications or levels. That's relationship, superficial, middle, and deeper in each of the 3 sections. So that's we're talking about totally is 3 times 3. That's the 9 level. Then the explanation relationship with the unit. Upper section relationship, that's kind of relationship with the heaven. So that's the unit relationship in the upper jaw. Chest and that's basically from the chest go to the head. So that means indication have chest problems and head problems. You can feel something wrong or different from the treatment. That's the upper section. Certainly, after the organ relationship, we have both heart and lung. And the middle section, that's the relationship with the human being. So we're talking about the superficial, middle, low. Superficial, when we're talking about needling technique, we're talking about this one before. Superficial relationship with height. So that's on the point. On the pulse, still the same thing. Yes, still the same thing. Middle level, that's the relationship with the human. And the deep level, that's the relationship with the earth. Similar like we're talking about in the point. When we needle, we can needle superficial level, we can needle middle level, and we can needle deep level. But the superficial level is the yang level. Deeper level is the yin level. Human is an innocent. So now we're talking about like the middle level. That's the relationship with the human. And the illness relationship. We still say that's middle jiao. Middle jiao, basically we're talking about below the diaphragm to the umbilical. That eye. If patient have illness in that eye, we can feel the difference in the middle line and the middle section. Then low section, that's the relationship with the earth. That's illness relationship with the Lord. That's the illness below the umbilical to the feet. So that's from three sections. Talking about illness relationship, the location. So then talking about why we need to know, like a location of the illness. So basically, we located the illness, like we feel the pulse in different sections. Then we know like a location of the illness. And then we matching with the illness and treat with the needle or treat with acupuncture. So that's we say we needle or we treatment will follow the pulse. We need a 30 hair explanation, the pulse and then find the unit location, and then we treat it. So that means the pulse is very important for our treatment. Then another question here. So if patient have a long-term problem, like stagnation inside, can we feel the pulse and then we can know? So what of here we talking about before, this is pulse. So that's another question. Then the answer. So we checking for the pulse. Checking for the pulse. And we checking patient's condition. For example, if patient have some stagnation on the right side of the body, so we feel the pulse, but find the pulse, noted pulse. We know that noted pulse kind of slow and irregular pulse. So thus we find the patient have stagnation, like a symptom show up on the right side of the body, have some stagnation. Then we feel the pulse, especially in the lung position. We find the noted pulse. So that should be matched. Yeah, that should be matched. If severe kind of noted, that means severe kind of stagnation. If slightly noted, that means slightly stagnant. So in other words, that means patient have stagnation or accumulations inside the body. We should feel the pulse matching their unit, like a right side, that's the relationship with the lung. So patient have right side stagnation. We will feel the noted pulse. Stagnation kind of pulse. That will happen on the right side. And the severe stagnation, severe kind of noted pulse. Slightly stagnation, slightly noted pulse. So that's truly the pulse should be matching with the unit. Then some situations, yes, some situations, those two factors here. So we can see some situations. When we feel the pulse, nothing in there, and nothing relationship with stagnation. But truly we see the symptoms. We find the right side have some stagnation. Why? So that's the question here. So that's some situations. Clinically, maybe we can find the pulse not truly matching for the unit. We find the right side stagnation, but we didn't feel from the right side of the pulse. Why? Then still explanation. So in these kind of situations, maybe we couldn't feel like noted pause or stagnation kind of pause. But we should feel deeper pause. Hiding still means deeper, very deeper. Very deeper kind of pause will be right side of the head. So that means another situation, even we couldn't feel the noted pause, but generally say right side pause will be deeper. Especially we talking about the long pause. Normally should be a little bit superficial. Right now, it's not superficial. It go to deeper. Deeper for the long still means stagnation. The pulse couldn't go to their normal level or normal location. So that's they say another situation. If we didn't feel the noted pulse, but patient have symptoms relationship, the deeper pulse still matching with the stagnation. Then another question. So if patient have some other part of the body, they have chronic problem, can we use the same way to make a diagnosis? So still talking about pulse relationship with the illness. Yeah, if patient have other part body, they have illness there. Can we use the same way or we need to use a different way to make a diagnosis? Then they're talking about the pulse relationship here. Noted pulse. Yeah, what means noted pulse? Noted pulse. The pulse will be stopped once during the pulse jumping, but it's not regular. That's within the pulse, we know already. Noted pulse. Generally say irregular pulse. Yeah, irregular pulse. Usually it's kind of slow. So that's noted pulse. Yeah. They are not moving smoothly. And hitting pulse means the pulse flowing pretty deeper. How deeper it is? Below the tendon. And the superficial pulse, they move about the muscle. So first, they didn't directly answer the questions here, but they talking about the different quality of the pulse here. Noted pulse is irregular, stop beat kind of pulse. Hiding pulse, that means very deeper pulse. They moving below the tendon. And the superficial pulse, they moving above the muscle. in the blood vessel. So then we're talking about any part of the body, any part of the body, whatever left side or right side, or superficial of the body, or internal part of the body, like the pattern, similar. Pattern similar. We feel the pulse on the superficial, healing should be in the superficial. If we feel the pulse deeper, the healing will be deeper. So that's answer the question. How will marking for the healing? Then they still talking about some situation. The pulse not truly matching the unit. So sometimes we feel the pulse, changing all the vessels pulse. Notice the pulse at the hiding pulse. Like before, we talking about it must have some accumulations or stagnation, like internally. But right now, we didn't find, stagnation. But the pulse show up. That's one situation. That's one situation. Pulse show up some illness. But the symptoms, symptoms, no, not show up. That's one situation. And another kind of situation, we feel the pulse in the superficial and notice. So still pulse show up in but symptoms not show. The first way, the pulse is deeper notice. Second pulse is superficial notice. They're both unit pulse, but the symptoms no show up. So that's two situations. Pulse feel unit, symptoms didn't show up. And the other symptoms, the symptoms show up. Like a symptom feel unit. But the pulse feel normal. Pulse didn't show up for illness. So like non-noted pulse and no deeper pulse. And other situation, still patient have illness. But the pulse not show up. Not on the superficial, not noticed. So basically here, still symptoms show illness. but pulse not show up. These two pulse, one is not on the deeper level. Another one not show up in the superficial level. But generally speaking, symptoms show up, have illness. Pulse not show up, look like no illness. So that kind of situation, we talking about the pulse didn't matching with the illness. Whatever pulse show up, symptoms not show up, or maybe illness show up, pulse not show up. So during that kind of situation, so that means illness is very, very severe kind of illness and pretty difficult to treat illness. So that's basically in this